Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Have you ever wondered why those job application personality tests seem so easy to fake? You know, the ones where you have to choose between two options that both sound good. Well, this new study might have a clue as to how we can fix it. When you take a personality test for a job, you want to look like the perfect candidate. Likert scales, where you just agree or disagree with statements, make it super easy for people to inflate their scores. But forced choice tests, where you have to pick the option that describes you best, force you to make a trade-off. It is like being asked to choose your favorite child. You cannot pick both, so you have to show your true colors. The problem is that building these tests is a nightmare for scientists. They need to make sure that the items in each pair are equally desirable. If one option is super positive and the other is super negative, you are not actually testing the personality trait at all. You are just testing whether the person has common sense. If the desirability levels are not perfectly matched, the test fails. It becomes a measure of who is willing to lie, not who is a good employee. Creating these balanced tests is a massive puzzle. You have to juggle hundreds of items, make sure every factor is covered, ensure the right mix of positive and negative questions, and keep the desirability scores level across the whole test. It is a mathematical mountain that is nearly impossible to climb by hand. Often, people try to solve this with computer algorithms, but even those can be slow or get stuck in bad patterns. That is where mixed integer programming comes in. You can think of it as a super-powered optimization tool that does not just find a good solution, but the absolute best one possible. To make this work, the researchers used the clever two-stage strategy. First, they generated a huge list of possible question pairs that did not violate their rules. This narrows down the playing field. Then they used this optimization software to pick the perfect combination from that list to build the final test. This guarantees that you are getting the most balanced, scientifically sound questionnaire possible. They tested this against other common ways of building tests, like those using genetic algorithms or random picking, and the results were clear. The optimization method found the perfect assembly every time. Other methods, meanwhile, ended up with questionnaires that were either biased or simply less precise. And the best part is that this optimization happens fast. Even with a massive set of potential questions, the solver finds the solution in a matter of minutes. So, what does this mean for you? If you are an employer, this means you can build personality tests that are much harder to cheat on. You get a much better view of who your candidates really are. If you are a job seeker, it means you can trust that the test you are taking is actually measuring traits like agreeableness or conscientiousness, rather than just how well you can game the system. But we have to be careful, as the researchers pointed out. Just because two items have similar scores on a survey does not mean they feel the same to a person. This is a classic limitation. Real human beings are rarely as consistent as a computer model. Future research needs to see if these computer-built tests actually work as well in the real world as they do on paper. Are people actually more honest when they pick between two equally desirable traits? We need more studies to check this. Overall, this is a brilliant application of computer science to the messy world of human psychology. It turns a manual task that could take weeks into an automated process that takes minutes, all while improving the quality of the science. It is a fantastic step forward for making hiring processes fairer and more effective. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts on personality testing, and subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more deep dives into the science of how we think. See you in the next one.